Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us. It's Sunday, just gone 5 here in the UK for another one of our pre-recorded offerings. I know you guys are getting used to these now across the weekends. We'd like to bring you this content, mainly craft-alongs, new content, bringing you the opportunity to take out some of the items which you'll have bought recently, things that you'll have bought from birthday, and have a project to craft along with them. It's all about the education, it's all about the inspiration, and hopefully that's what we're going to do across the next hour. Of course, with this being a pre-recorded show, we won't be able to answer any of your questions. However, do chat along with each other in the comments, which I know a lot of you have been doing on previous shows. Today's Craft Along, our award-winning show, is going to be looking at the Fairy Glade collection, the Sara signature collection that we launched during birthday, which I know was super popular. But who do I spy over there in the Fairy Glade? Who is going to be inspiring us with this collection? Let's have a look. Who's it going to be?
It's me! I was going to sort of come in as a fairy, but I don't think I'm delicate enough to come in as a fairy.
We should have got some wires, shouldn't we?
I should have floated
Hanging
across.
from the rigging.
No, yeah, absolutely. Fairy Glade, Ben. I'm so happy to be able to bring you a project with this one because I just love this collection. I think anything that has a fairy in it is so whimsical, magical, but these ones have a little bit of a dark side, which I love about them. The darker papers, they're just so nice, aren't they? So we're going to be making this project. So I thought we'd make a box and we're making a shaker box as well. So literally popping all these bits round with those beautiful papers, and we're keeping it nice and simple to let the dies do all the work. But you do need a few little elements to make this creation, and here is your shopping list.
Okay.
You're going to need, so the Fairy Glade collection, you're going to need your Make-A-Wish stamp set, your Midnight Fairy edgeable die, your Silhouette Pixies die set, your iridescent ribbon, your 12 by 12 paper pad, the A4 Pearl cardstock, also a quick dry and black ink pad and some white cardstock, and just some extras that you're going to need as well, which is obviously your normal tools, which is your Gemini die cutting machine, your scoreboard guillotine, a stencil and stamp platform. Every time I say that, I keep forgetting it's the stencil and stamp platform, and I'm thinking, what's that? Your paper trimmer, some scissors, pokey tool, tape pen, dotty tape pen, and your foam pads and foam tape as well, because we're obviously making a shaker card, so you'll need your shaker foam. So grab all those bits together and then we'll get crafting in just a little while.
Excellent stuff. Looking forward to this. As per usual, if you do decide to craft along, feel free, as always, to send in your pictures. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. The email box is always open because we love to feature your pictures on future shows, and of course on things like our Friday night faves when we do our gallery. You send in your project, it could feature and win yourself some bonus points. And if you do craft along, feel free to add your pictures to our social media pages, things like the Crafters Companion page, and tag us, particularly Debbie, because again, it's always inspirational to see what you have made, your take on the projects that the guys make, and particularly the craft alongs as well. Now, if you haven't yet got the Fairy Glade collection, I can offer you 3 different bundles. One bundle which we'll show you first of all is the paper and card collection. I mean, if you've already got the Fairy Glade collection, if you bought this on birthday, you might want to jump in and grab more of these beautiful, beautiful papers. They are stunning, beautiful pearlescent papers. The scenes are absolutely stand out. And as Debbie was talking about, yes, fairies, but a little bit more, I suppose, grown up in their sort of effect, really. Adult fairy, I suppose, is the way to look at this. And what you've got is that really beautiful kind of scenery on the one side, real depth and sort of imagination on the A side, and then the B side of all of these is a little bit more sort of stripped back, a bit more hazy, almost as if you're sort of looking into that Fairy Glade from the outside with the sunlight there just creeping through the trees. So you've got a real kind of mixture of designs within these papers. Just as I go through as well, it is worth telling you that we do only have left in the business 300 more of these bundles bundles. So it really is getting to that point now for you to A, grab these for the first time, or B, think about adding more to your collection, because remember, once these are gone, they are gone. I'll just flip this around again and show you the reverse. I'm almost more of a fan of the B-sides of these, Debbie.
I like the B-side. Do you know why I like the B-side? I almost feel like there's this translucent sort of sheen over it, which really looks like, it's almost, that to me looks like, do you know the terraniums?
Terraniums, yeah,
yes,
exactly.
That's exactly what it looks like, isn't it? Like the light shining through. They are gorgeous.
Whichever way you go, you've got some really like magical and mystical papers here. And again, you know, the more you look into them, you'll see these fairies, you'll see these little nymphs, these woodland creatures coming out to play, and you've got so much scope with these. Some really, really beautiful designs, all done on these beautiful pearlescent papers. You're going to get 24 double-sided sheets in there. Also within this set, you've got your multi-sheet vellum pad too. The vellums are gorgeous, and as you would expect, matching up absolutely perfectly with the designs that you're going to be getting within your 12 by 12. So those are all included within this bundle. Great price on the bundle today as well, just £30.40 or $40. And then as always, when we do these paper and card bundles for you, we make sure that you've got the cardstock to go with. Normally linen cardstock, but with the Fairy Glade, because we've gone on that sort of shimmery, shiny, pearlescent approach, we've done you pearlescent card this time around, and hopefully you can see that beautiful sheen and shine you're going to achieve from here. So you get your A4 sized cardstock, you're getting 6 colours, and you're getting 4 sheets of each within this bundle. Once again, all perfectly colour matched to go with your vellum and those papers in your 12 by 12 pad. All of that right there, £30.40 or $40. As I say, if you shop the show on the website, you can see the essentials collection that we've got, and also the embellishments too that go with this collection. But we'll chat perhaps more about that a little bit later. Let's get on with it. Here we go then. So a brilliant project for you to follow along. Where do we need to start? Right,
let's start off with the die cutting. So we're going to take some white cardstock, just a piece of A4, and we're going to trim this to 4.5 by 6.5 inches. So let's take that in. I'm going to trim first of all to 4.5, like so, just keeping that straight, and then 6.5 inches there, just across the top. So that's our first piece of card. So let's pop that to the side, because keep your scraps, because we can do that. We can use those later on.
Yeah.
And then we're going to use our die. So where's my die? I put it down somewhere. Here it is. So we're using that Midnight Fairy. I love this edgeable die. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then what we're going to do, we're going to line this one up to the side of our card. So depending on where you want to place it, I'm just going to put it sort of about sort of there. I just want to leave a little gap around it. We're going to use our glass mat, and then I'm just going to make sure that we pop that to each line, lining up the lines, if you like. So it hasn't got to be a particular size, just make sure it's lined up straight. So about there, and then we're going to take that in. So just like so. So hold that down. I'm going to put a couple of pieces of tape just so that stays in place, and then we're going to send that through our machine. So pop onto there. Now, anyone that's joined us that's new and you've got a Gemini maybe, or you've just invested in a Gemini, it's our base cutting plate, your die facing down to your cardstock, your plastic shim. Oh, good. Oh, it is. It's hidden underneath it there.
Hiding away.
Magnetic, and then your top plate on the top of that. And that will cut that out perfectly first time. Yeah. You'll see that I'm using my G2, but I'm using my junior plates. So anytime you can use your junior plates, it's just quicker for it to go through. So let's bring that one out, pop those to the side, and then we can take this one out. So be really gentle lifting it. I like to put my fingers underneath and just push the die down. And then that way you get all that beautiful intricate detail come out. Look at that, first time into the, out of the die cut. So we're going to just pop that one to the side, and then we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, because we want to sort of gut out this section. So all I'm going to do is place that onto here. Now it's about, let me see, it's about 1/2 inch. So let me bring that down so you can see. So you've got your inch here, then 1/2 inch on here. I'm going to line that up to the 1/2 inch point. and then we're just going to bring that to where that die cut is and bring that across roughly to where I think is the die cut, is sorry, the 1.5 inch. Don't worry, you can always go back to it afterwards if it's, I mean, I think I've gone over a little bit, but it's absolutely fine.
And this is the superpower, isn't it, of the paper trimmer? Because I know a lot of people kind of think, oh, do I need a guillotine? Do I need a paper trimmer? I mean, try and have both, but the paper trimmer's advantage over the guillotine is that you can do this, which you couldn't do on a guillotine, could you?
Oh, absolutely. I just think they're an absolute must. And this one, can you see I've got a tiny little bit there, so I'm just going to grab my scissors. Let me just grab my little scissors, and then I can just snip into that little piece just to take that away, like so, and that one there. So yeah, you can see. So we've got that nice 1/2 inch all the way round there. That doesn't have to be perfect either, because we're going to make a frame as well to go around there.
Yeah.
So let's keep our paper trimmer out, but we're going to bring in our papers. So you can now decide what you want to use, whether you want to use the darker side, whether you want to use a lighter side. Really doesn't matter, they're all going to look beautiful. But we're going to cut that same size piece of card which will fit this piece. And that's going to be, again, 4.5 by 6.5.
Yeah.
So just across there, 4.5, and then by 6.5. So it's exactly the same size. If you wanted to, you could do it just a fraction bigger, but you don't have to worry, because if your white card is a little bit smaller, you can always then just trim it to size afterwards. So what's going to happen there, I want to make that frame to go over the top. So I'm going to use this, but actually I'm going to use this side here, because I like the lighter patterns that you get as well as the dark. And we're going to do exactly the same with our paper trimmer. We're going to cut a 1/2 inch all the way round. So literally pop that to that 1/2 inch, and then we're going to come down just roughly where I think 1/2 inch is. We can always go back to that. So again, pop that on. Now we've got that guideline, and then again 1/2 inch. And this is a really nice way of getting your exact cut line inside. You could, if you wanted to, use your nesting dies.
Oh yeah.
So you just need to see what size they are and start with the size that gives you the one that can cut out that middle section, and then you can do that accordingly with your die cut fairy. So once we've got that, that will then fit perfectly over the top. So you can see we've got that perfect line. So what I want to do now, because we're going to create a shaker card with this before we get on to making our box. So we're going to glue this into place. Now I would definitely recommend a wet glue, just to give you a little bit of wiggle room. So let me just take, in fact, where's my little intricate bottle? Because, there it is. I won't put too much glue on there.
Oh, okay.
But your wet glue is going to be better because it will give you a bit of wiggle room and it won't dry so quickly. Oops, and getting it out, but there's not a lot coming out of this one, but I think we must refill. So just coming around all those sides. And you can decide which one you want to go with. You might even want to just use your pearlescent cardstock.
Oh yeah, why not?
Which will be beautiful if you wanted just a block colour.
Yeah.
So once we've done that, we're going to just hover that over the top. And then that way I can manoeuvre that where I want it. And I've got, and actually I quite like, there's a slight white border just down here, but I quite like that, so I'm not going to worry about that at all. Popping that into place, and then on the back, just push that down, let that tacky glue take hold. And that's our first piece. And then what we're going to do is take a piece of acetate. So let me just grab. Now I've just got our, this is just your heat resistant acetate. So it's not a thick piece of acetate, but it will still do the same thing. So it'll still work as well as any other of your thicker acetate. And we're going to trim this the same size as well. So 4.5 inches. So I'm keeping this craft along nice and simple with all the cuts. And 6.5 inches.
Is this the acetate with the film on the back that you have to take off?
You what, sorry?
Do you have to take the film off the back of this?
Not this one, no.
Right.
No, that's on your construction acetate.
Yes.
No, this one is your heat resistant acetate. So once we've done that, because I can't see it, let me bring in a piece of card. And then we can see. Yeah, guess where the acetate is. There we go.
There it is.
Now with this one, I am going to use, actually I can just use my tape pen. So we're going to use the tape pen just to go down that side, all the way around. That's the perfect size, your tape pen. And then next one, and the next one. And that's all you need. And then we can place this over the top. So just like so. And once that's on, just burnish that down on the back. Now, if you burnish that down, that is not going to come apart at all. So just in case, going all round on all the sides, and then that will create. There we go. So that way you've got your piece in there that's going to hold everything.
Yes.
So let's now do our foam on a roll. So let's just grab this one. And yeah, Johnny said how times have changed. We don't sing anymore, do we? Is this what it's come to, Ben?
Well, I know. You know when it's come to something when nobody sings it anymore.
I wonder if people sing that at home still.
Now and again, you do still see it in the comments, you know. I think there's certain foam on a roll diehard fans.
And the ones that say, oh no. So
it was of its time, wasn't it, eh? It was of its time.
I actually love it. I just stopped singing it. I think I was the only one that was singing it, and then everyone else was like, oh no. So I just like, well, maybe I should stop then.
I think I stopped just before you. I sort of did it to a point where I was, you know, annoying a few people, and then it wasn't getting a reaction anymore, so I then stopped.
When you're doing your foam, make sure when you're snipping that bit, I'll show you again on this end, just to put another piece across here. Make sure that you really butt it up to the other piece. And when you come across, doesn't matter on this bit, I'm just showing you, but literally overlap a little bit so it's a little bit bigger, and then just push it into there. And that just means that you'll have no escapees.
Right.
They will stay in place. So once we've got that, we're going to pop that to the side and ready to put on our box when we've made that.
Okay.
So shall we have a break there? Let everybody catch up. Oh, we did that quite quickly, didn't we? But at least we can get the, we've got deals anyway. So I've really sped through that, haven't I?
That's fine, I can take a little bit longer here. Escapees, is that when your petit pois fall off the plate? Escapees.
Escapees. Foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey!
There we go, for the die-hard fans out there, as you just chucked it across the studio. Oh dear, what we like. If you do want to create this project and you haven't yet got the dies, you will need to get the die that Debbie has been using. That is included within your die bundle. So the 3 bundles available for you. This is a 6-piece collection. It's actually more than 6 pieces, but it's 6 products if you like. So it's 42.40 or 51.20. So you've got that beautiful edgeable, that midnight fairy. So much detail in all of these, which is tremendous, and you know, nothing less than you would expect from us. You've also got that flying fantasy as well. I mean, how gorgeous there. Yes, fairy wings, butterfly wings, of course, as well. However you want to use those, but those look absolutely beautiful. And the fact that you can just pop those up out of your card or out of your project to give you that 3D effect, I just think is magnificent. We're then giving you the dies to be able to create your little silhouettes. So these are actually your silhouette pixies. Once again, I think these are going to look great wherever you decide to position them on your project, and the fact that you've got the ability here within the wings to be able to perhaps paper piece into these. If you've got things like your illusion film, you can pop those onto the back. Those will look marvellous, won't they, with the illusion film? Absolutely incredible. But those 3 are also included. Stampin' dies, you've got that beautiful among the wildflowers, so you've got that sort of pensive fairy, if you like, the silhouette of that fairy. But once again, lots of opportunity there to be able to colour in all of those amazing florals. And then you've got your Moon Shadow Valley. This one's incredible. Again, the fact that you've got all of these dies here that can then layer up on top of each other. So you can create this magnificent sort of fairy glade in itself each die cut adds a different layer of interest, adds a different layer of kind of design, if you like. And again, we've just obviously layered these flat, but if you wanted to use things like your 3D foam, your foam or your chunky glue, you could obviously do that too. And then you're also going to get a lovely little set here, which is a die and some stamps as well. So the die is the magical, so you cut that one out, and then you've got a whole host of different stamps to go with. So sending you magical fairy dust, wishing you a magical birthday, make every day magical, you're something magical. All of that within your Fairy Glade dies collection. So that is £42.40. or £51.20. And just so that I've shown you everything as far as the collection is concerned, you've got your embellishment. So as I mentioned, the illusion film you're going to get within this set is going to work so nicely with a lot of the dies that you're going to be getting here. 3 rolls of that amazing illusion film in those 3 colours. It's going to give you that beautiful, shimmering, iridescent effect. And of course, you know, once you're laying this down, if you use it on its own, you don't have to heat this if you don't want to, but once you heat it and then maybe mix it up with another of the colours that you've got in there, you're going to get such a beautiful array of colours and that stunning sort of mottled effect that you could achieve once you add some heat to this. It's incredible. 3 rolls you're going to get within that set, 2 meters per roll, so lots of illusion film to be playing with. And again, that you can use alongside other dies that you might already have. You've also got your beautiful iridescent ribbon included in here as well. So you're getting 3 different designs of ribbon included. Absolutely stunning is this, just to finish off a project. You know, maybe if you're making a little home decor pieces, maybe making little bags, of course, you know, this ribbon will really come into its own. But some really fantastic colours in there. You've got 1 metre in length of each, and they are 1.5 inches in width. And as I say, beautiful colours. I mean, that one there as well, just with that iridescent design, you can use alongside all of the other goodies that you've got within this set. 3 pots, or 4 pots, I should say, of your pearl powder also included. And on top of all of that, we are going to be giving you your laser cut wood frames. I want to say off the top of my head, there's 20 of those. You're going to be getting 4 of each, so 5 within that set. And again, you know, just apply these as they are to your projects. You can colour into these, add your gilding flakes, add your pearl powders, whatever you want to do. You can decorate these up in different ways that you see fit if you want to use your metallic markers. But it's just a lovely set of beautiful frames. Again, for the card projects that you're making, or maybe sort of any home decor pieces as well. So all of that is included in that 5-piece embellishment collection. Price for that one today is £36 if you're a Platinum member, or $48 if you're shopping in the US and you're Platinum. And once again, you can find all of these deals on the Shop the Show, and if you fancy picking up sort of individuals, particularly with things like the embellishments and those paper pads as well, all of those options will be available to you on the website. All right, so let's get back to it then. Just put up details back on the screen here for your card and paper. So what's the next step, Debbie?
Right, let's make our shaker. Now, when you've got your scrap piece of card that you've used from cutting your outside edge, look and see where you want to place it, because everywhere, and this is when we talk about our paper pads, Ben, there's something for in every part. So if you, I might want it there so you can see the butterflies, might want it darker at the top here, might want it this side. I'm actually going to use the darker bit here, and I think that fits beautifully. In fact, if we do that quite nicely, the wings of the fairy will, the butterfly will be behind as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trim that piece out. So I'm just going to take that one and trim this to 6.5 inches. So I think it was about there. So we're going to trim to 6. Let me do it that way. 6.5 inches. And that way to 4.5 inches. So that's the same as the base layer that we've been doing. And then that way, when this goes over the top, there we go, trim that really well
nice.
there. So you've got that piece there. So we're going to then add our sequins. So we're doing all our topper part, and then for anyone that wants to learn how to make a box, we're going to be doing the box and the mats and layering on the next stage. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can put your sequins onto here and then lay this on the top. I think this is a really good way if you've got a different size card. If your card is bigger, then obviously when you put it over the top, so if you're putting your sequins in here and you're putting it over the top, you can't really see where it goes. But the good thing about this one, because it's the same size, we can line that up and you know exactly where it's going. So we can actually put our sequins in the middle.
Yeah.
Now I prefer to take my tape off first. Some people don't because they like to be able to not put their sequins onto the tape.
Yeah, because you might worry that they might stick.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit clumsy and I end up knocking it. And when I'm taking this off, and then the sequins then end up going on there anyway. So I always feel like this benefits me for doing it this way, but you do whatever suits your needs. Now I've just decanted some of our sequins that we had. We might still have some on the website actually. These were the pink and the purple sequins, but we've had lots of our colour trends, haven't we? Where
are they from? Cosmic Collection?
No, these ones, you remember we just done packs of different coloured sequins. They're just from them, and I think they're in our core product, so I think we've got them. Yeah, they will be in stock. So I'm just making sure I want to fill that, so pop them down like that, and then we can just place that, oh no, it was that way round, just over the top. So straight down on the top there, making sure before we turn it round that that's really burnished down. And then when we turn that over, we've got that beautiful shaker element. So pop that down there. So there's our shaker element. So let's do a bit more die cutting, and we're going to take our fairies. I only want to use one fairy on here. You might sort of think, oh, but it's got a nice fairy in there, we don't want to cover it up. But I felt like this one here, looking up at the other fairy, was just a really lovely addition. I love these fairy dies. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So we're going to just take those scrap pieces that we had earlier, and we're just going to die cut one of those. Let's just trim that one out. And again, we're keeping these just white, but also I'm taking a piece of lilac cardstock, so your pearlized cardstock. These are definitely the ones you want to be multiplying. You want to get more of these because you're going to use these time and time again. They are absolutely gorgeous, double-sided, that gorgeous sheen, look at that you're getting on there. I just love these papers. So we're going to cut one each of these ones and place that on there. It's a long time actually since we've done a fairy collection, isn't it? We've done the fairy trends with the colours.
Oh yeah, Spring Fairy.
Yes, Spring Fairy,
yeah,
yes.
I can't recall another... Was there a fairy
Did we do like a
garden?
I was thinking like Once Upon a Time, Enchanted Forest. Did they have fairies in them? Yes.
I feel like I've been here, for collections that have incorporated fairies, but not one that's been solely fairies.
No fairy was hurt.
Well, I don't know about
that. Just don't tell Leanne.
Oh yeah.
Although she doesn't mind so much now. Dies are a lot more robust than what they used to be. So, I remember dies. Honestly, Ben, we've come a long way with dies. I remember dies used to be quite flimsy.
Oh really?
And, yes.
What, the break?
And yes, well, not so much break, but like they used to be. If I just take this one out, where's my pokey tool gone? There it is. If I just pop this one out. Yeah, these sort of bits here used to be really thin and they would bend, so you'd have to bend them back. So now the die itself is so much more robust.
So hence why back in the day
Leanne would never let you bang a die. No. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you would always use your pokey tool. Painstakingly. Although I say that, my mum used to come with me to demo days when I used to go to sort of demo days all around the country, and she used to be my die picker person.
Oh, I love that.
She used to sit at the end of the table, and all my stamps she would wash when I finished. So I'd be demonstrating in the shop or the store, and then I'd just pass them, and my mum would have her bucket and wash my stamps, and she'd be sitting there poking out all my die pieces.
That's brilliant, your little PA. That's like when chefs do demo days, isn't it? They always have people there to kind of get their ingredients ready for them and get all the measurements of the bits and pieces that they need set out for them.
That's it, yeah, absolutely.
Look at you and your PA. It's amazing how it has come on though. I remember when I first started presenting in craft, the size of the stamps, because it was the majority of the stamps you would get back in the day were on wooden blocks.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
Were like massive stamps. Is it
Yeah,
crazy?
it's surprising, isn't it, how far we've come. You'll see, Ben, that I've just put my glue, I put my dotty tape pen just on the actual fairy body because I don't want my wings to stick together. And then we're going to mat and layer these over each other, but we're going to just slightly shadow them. So you've got that real slight shadow of that, or sort of halo of that purple.
Yeah.
But what you've also got is that beautiful wings where you can literally manipulate one wing so it looks like she's got those double wings at the back there.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
brilliant.
how beautiful is that? Absolutely lovely. And again, just burnish those at the back there. And then she is ready to go onto our card. So we're literally going to just place her here at the side so she'll be looking up to the other fairy.
Oh, bless you. Bit of that fairy dust got off your nose there, I think.
I think it was. Come from nowhere. I had a tickle. Oh dear. Right, so we're just going to place this one onto the side here, just at the base. Actually, I've just realised I'm going to put her onto some foam pads because we did put her onto foam pads. So I'm just going to trim these ones down.
So after this, it's the construction of the box then, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yes, absolutely. One of my favourite things to do. I love making boxes. So we're just going to place some.
Good time of the year to be learning how to do your boxes as well with
absolutely.
Christmas on the horizon.
Certainly is.
Popping some of your gifts in.
It's hard to believe that Christmas is next month.
I just can't begin to comprehend where this year's gone.
Although I'm sort of, and it's terrible because I love Christmas, but I'm almost wishing Christmas away just because we got a holiday straight after.
Yeah, you off on a, is it the cruise?
We're going on a cruise, yes. Yeah, going on a cruise on the 3rd of January. Yes.
Like
so
Crafters TV's very own Judith Chalmers. Wish you were here.
So we're going to Tenerife. And then Portugal, Madeira, Madeira. And then Fuerteventura.
Is it going to be super duper warm then?
Not really warm, but it's well, they say it's between sort of 20 to 24.
Oh, perfect.
So that's quite nice weather, isn't it? So, right, shall we have a quick break there? Let everyone catch up with their fairies. We've got our topper ready, and then we've got the last half hour where we can make our box.
Just a bit jealous about Debbie's cruise now, really, but there we go. We will continue with the craft along in just a few moments' time. Like I said, all the details here for you, or they're just about to go. There you go. They are on the show for you, so you can pick up the 3 different bundles as far as the Fairy Glade's concerned. And yeah, we'll come back. So we've done the sort of main component of the front of our box, but we need to construct the box, and we'll find out how to do that in about 4 minutes' time.
Day-to-day looks like, on a normal day when I'm working from home, get up, breakfast, quick phone call with my daughter, and then I'm up in the craft room and I spend all my time in the craft room. If it's spending a day with the grandkids, that's it. That's my best part of the day, just spending time with family and those gorgeous little grandkids of mine. The best part of the day when I'm at work is when I go on air, because I absolutely love it. Both. I prefer a shower in the morning. I feel fresher. I feel that I can tackle my day. However, depending on how that day's been, I also would have a double shower, so I'd have one in the morning and one at night too. Absolutely, 100% coffee. Will always be coffee. And flavoured coffee is my favourite at the moment. Dare I say it, a full English breakfast, the full works, the beans, the tomatoes, the bacon, the sausage, and everything else that goes with a traditional English breakfast. Craft along. Every day of the week. I absolutely love going through the stages from the start of a project to the end of a project. So craft along is definitely my favourite choice. I can't leave without my lipstick. It's a given thing. I once didn't have a lipstick on me and Leanne helped me out that day. Kick off the shoes, sit down for a couple of minutes, just gather my thoughts and then grab my tea.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I do like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, I'm getting my breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early riser without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Bath at night, shower in the morning. I'm very clean. Tea, the colour of He-Man. Both. I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, because there's always a softer side craft along. My phone, my life is my phone. Yeah, the phone and the dog, unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch. My favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like. Lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and jam, and some little cakes. But I couldn't have it every day because I'd be the size of a house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song at the moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or make myself a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us this Sunday. Hopefully you are enjoying the show. And don't forget, these shows we're doing for you each and every weekend, new content every Saturday and Sunday. So if you've bought any new items for us, any items from birthday, we haven't yet featured them, you can pretty much guarantee that they will be featuring in the shows that we're going to be doing for you on Saturdays and Sundays going forward. All right, so we are all about the Fairy Glade. We've made kind of the front or the top of our box, but the next thing we're going to be doing with Debbie is learning how to make the box for this project. So let's see what we need to do.
Yes, so I've got, because of the size of my box, I've took a bigger sheet of cards. So I'm just using a plain piece of white cardstock. We do send Pearl in the A3, so you can get your A3 cardstock. And I'm going to trim this one down to 11 inches by 9 inches. So we're going to just pop that to 11 inches like so. And let me just double check I've done that right. So before I cut, yes, trim card, yes, 11 inches.
Reading your instructions.
By 9 inches.
Yeah.
I did do that right, yes. I actually thought I was looking at the score lines then, that's why I double checked. That's going to be for our base. And then for your top part, your lid, I've got an A4 piece of cardstock, and we're going to trim this one down to 7.5 inches by 9.5 inches. So 7.5, just there, and then by 9.5 inches. So 9.5 inches. So that's our two pieces. I'm going to pop that one to the side. That's for our lid. So just remember which one's your lid and which one's your base. So the bigger piece is your base.
Yeah.
And then with your base, let's bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score this on the base side of the box. So on your scoreboard, if you've got one of our scoreboards, it is especially made, or you might have one of our box boards or the boxer boards in the Ultimate Pro.
Yes.
Exactly the same thing. So you have a measuring guide of inches, centimetres on the back if you wanted to. We normally do things in inches. You've got the box lid side, which is butted up against the left-hand side, and then you've got the box base, which is on the right-hand side. Now, because we're doing the box box base, because I always go from my left-hand side. I
Makes
always
so much
turn
sense, this, to
Yeah,
me.
just turn my board around, because your lines, now don't be fooled, your lines don't line up with the bottom line. So this is your 7-inch, or one of your inch lines here, but when I go up, can you see it's 1 1/4 on this one. So never go by your same inches on the bottom as what they are on the top. So I'm turning it round, taking this base card, and we're going to score this one. Let me just double check. We're going to score at 1 1/4. Oh, no, hang on. We're going to score at 2 inches. So 2 inches on all sides. So we're just rotating, and you can see I always put 2 score lines down. That just stretches the fibres in the card and helps it to sort of bend and score really well. So last one, pop that to the side, and then when I fold, I always fold the larger area over the smaller area, and that just creates a really sort of, you can see here, you don't get any warping in your card. And then again, on all sides, you're just going to fold and burnish all the way around. And last one, like so. And then what you're going to do is, once it's unfolded, take each corner. I always start on my right-hand corner, and I always cut the actual score line away.
Right.
I don't go down the middle or to the right-hand side. I always cut it away, so there's no score line that you can see. It's just a complete flat edge there, and then the score is all on that edge. And then I just take a little piece out, and then just that one there. Now, the smaller your tab, the less glue you're going to use.
Oh,
so you haven't got to have a really big, flap coming out there. And then when you fold them, the reason I take this triangular piece off, because if my card wasn't cut exactly straight, I can sort of manoeuvre that in a little bit, so I know that I'm going to get that beautiful mitered edge corner, so that'd be perfect. And then once you've done that, we're going to rotate it and do the other corners. So again, taking off that entire piece, little triangle out the side, and then take the corners off.
Yeah, there's just as you're showing now, if people are thinking, oh, I've got to make sure like I snip the same amount of like card away in the corners, there's no exact science to this, is there? It's just a snip away the corner and then make that tab a little bit smaller.
Yeah, no one is going to see those corners underneath your box. So, and once you've done them a few times, you'll find that they're more or less roughly the sort of same as you go round anyway.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to do anything to this yet, because we're going to put our mats and layers onto here. So we're not going to put our box together. So I'm going to pop that one to the side, and then we're going to put our scoreboard back in. Sorry, that just clicked on my microphone there. And we're going to now bring in
That's
our
woke you up at home, isn't it?
So this one is your A4 piece of card, and we trimmed this one down to 9.5 inches by 7.5 inches. And this time we're going to score on the lid side, so it tells me my lid side is this one, and we're going to score this at 1 1/4 inch. So 1 1/4, and we're going to come down on all sides. So I've made this so we have a little bit of a decorative box going on. So we've got a top bit, and you can then see the bottom half of the box as well. So 1 1/4 and 1 1/4, like so. And then we're going to repeat that process that we did on our box base. So fold and burnish, putting the larger piece across the top. This is going to keep your sides completely straight. And again. And then we're going to repeat again, snipping in. And it couldn't be more simpler. So anyone that thinks box making is hard, honestly, it is so simple to create a box for anybody, for any gift. And actually, there's no rights or wrongs with sizes. You just have to think about what you're putting in your box. With this one, obviously, I've done the size because of the size of the die. But if I wanted to put a bottle of perfume in, just have your bottle of perfume and measure your card to that box. So all you've got to do is make sure, I mean, actually, it's Sara, I think, isn't it? She does the...
magic ruler.
The magic ruler technique, yes. when she's doing it, it looks really easy, but then it baffles me when I'm doing it myself. But I totally get it.
But that's if you want to be really specific for
yes, absolutely.
Something fitting snugly in a box, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you will have now, if I just pop my sides up like so, so pop them all into place, this will then fit directly on the top. So when all your sides are folded in, you've got that perfect fit box. But before we put that all together, we want to do our mats and layers. So they're not going to take long at all. We're going to get our scraps of card that we had. So we should, I might have cut mine a bit, so I haven't got enough to do them, but I have got another piece here. But let's see how we go. Let me get my measurements and let's get our guillotine. And then we're going to just trim these ones. So we want 2 strips of the pattern card, and we want these 6 3/4 inch long. So I think that one would be 6 1/2. Yes. So I'm just going to bring in a new sheet so we can do some of our measuring here. So let's do. I'm going to do it this way round and do this to 6 3/4. So 6 3/4. And then we're going to trim these to 1 inch strips. So we want 2 1 inch strips. So that's our first one. And then another one. Like so. And then we want another 2 that are 1 inch long but by 4 3/4. So I'm still going to cut 2 strips off that are 1 inch long. So that one. And then one more. So another one which is another inch.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cut these ones to 4 3/4. So I'm going to put both together, place it inside, 4 3/4. Like so. So that's given us our 2 there. Now these ones are for the lid. So what will happen with these will fit perfectly around these edges here.
Yeah.
And then the smaller one will go onto this side.
Gotcha.
So we're just going to pop those ones there. And then we're going to do our other side. So the 2 strips that we need at the bottom, we're going to be using the silver strip onto here. So it's slightly smaller. And we're going to do this one. So we've got 6 3/4, which it's already cut to, and we're just going to do the silver strip. So can you see I've just lined it up along that silver strip there.
Yeah.
Trim that one. And another one with the silver strip. There we go. And then again we want 2 more, which are going to be 4 3/4. So trim your strips first. So just on that silver strip. And another one. And then we're going to trim these ones to 4 3/4.
Yes.
So nice and simple. And the reason I've done these ones smaller is because I don't want them to go under my box just to pad it out anymore. So we're just going to put them just under, so it'll all become clear. So let's pop that to the side, and all those pieces I can use for another make. So let's do these ones first, and then we've got our box base here. So just going to use my tape pen to glue these on, but obviously you glue whatever your glue of choice is.
What's your glue or adhesive of choice when you're making like the constructing of the box?
So actually, I always use the tape pens.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're quick, they stick straight away, they're strong, so we don't have to worry that they're not strong enough. So, I always think if you're not sure about sticking, and I mean that as in if you think you're going to be a bit wonky, then use a wet glue. But I think I've been doing it for so long now, I don't worry so much about things being wonky.
But with a wet glue, I suppose then you'd have to almost like put
You have to wait.
like pin the joins, wouldn't you, for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say our tape pens are so strong.
Yeah.
So they are really good. So, but doing your corners, I know Sara, when she does it, she puts little pins on the top. You can put little paper clips, or you can use our little our sewing pins that you put at the top of the
those are handy.
class. So they're very good. So just pop that there. And then if I bring my, here it is, this in, you can see this will fit them perfectly
look at that.
on the corner. So we're going to do that before we stick our sides on, because obviously you can't press down once your sides are done. So all I'm going to do, again, I'm going to take my tape pen, place this down, and then we can still burnish this on the back. So I'm going to make sure I put plenty on there, pop that into the centre. And that's going to have just a nice white border around that. So I've done that big enough to go down. Then turn that over and literally burnish everything down. And then that way, you know, nothing is going to come apart. And then this one as well. And then we can put our sides together. So we're just going to, again, now I do like to fill the entire tab with my glue. And this is what I'm saying, the smaller your tabs, the less glue you're using. So you actually save on glue. And you don't need to have really big tabs at the side, but just make sure that you've covered them with your adhesive. And then that way there'll be no gaps to let air in, which will then make them come undone.
Yeah.
And then just give them a bit of a massage, because that will heat up the glue, make it more sticky, and then that won't come apart at all.
So once this is stuck, it's potentially as strong as like something like your red liner tape, yeah?
Absolutely, I think it is, yeah, absolutely. But you do have to massage it in, because if you warm it up, it becomes more sticky, and then putting it together like this, it won't come apart. And the other trick is to not leave gaps. If you leave a gap in glue, what will happen is air will get into those gaps, especially if you've got anything over. A lot of people have window sills over radiators, and they'll put their cards over radiators, and then their card bits, all the embellishments fall off. They won't if you do this, because they will stay really stuck fast. So there we go, there's our box top all done. And then this one now, we're going to place these on the bottom. So what I mean by the bottom, when this is stood up and your lid is on here, I want these to be on the bottom. Oh, wrong one. They're the smaller ones. I want that to be on the bottom. So what you want to do is make sure when you turn this over, you're not putting them here, you're putting them towards the base of your piece. So we're just going to glue these ones on. And then I think we should just have about enough time to get our sentiment done.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just going to place that right along the bottom piece.
Do you make a lot of boxes then, generally, like this time of the year?
I make boxes all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. If I buy, like I've just bought, in fact, I just bought something for my granddaughters, so I'm in the middle of making them boxes to put their Christmas presents in. Anything that I buy for somebody, I like to put them in a decorative box. So,
it's a great skill to have, isn't it? Because I think, you know, if you don't enjoy wrapping, having a box instead takes away that hassle. But also, if you do want to get a box, like, they're so super expensive to go out and buy, and you can never quite find the right size box. And also, with something like this, how lovely if you're making a card, you can then, of course, team up the look of your card with the box, can't you?
Totally.
So,
yeah,
it's a great thing to be able to do.
It's so nice, yeah, it's really, and it's quite therapeutic, I think, making boxes.
And as you've shown, it's easy to do, isn't it? You don't have to be afraid of trying it.
It is very easy to do. We don't want things that are complicated. I think the only complication there is to get the size that you want. But once you know your size, and I would also say if you're new to box making, keep your box and your base both the same size.
Right.
And then just have a box that goes over the entire one. It's because then sometimes you get a bit confused with what sort of size is, and you just want the circumference on the inside to be the same as the outside. Same as the outside of the box. Yeah. And then that way you know they're going to fit. So this one is quite decorative because we've then got that panel underneath that you can see at the bottom. And then our last one, I'm just manoeuvring those in, and you can see every single side on them is completely flat. So if you haven't got sides that aren't flat like this, that's down to you not cutting your cardstock straight. Right. So just go back in and trim. You can always trim them if you've got little bits coming off. So, right, so let's pop that lid on. Hopefully it fits. There we go, fits perfect.
Yes.
But now we've just got the sentiment to do, and then our box is finished.
Love
So, and a bow. Shall I quickly show you how to do a bow? Because this is the one thing people ask me all the time. Now, I do have a tool at home that I use. It's a bit like a, they used to call them an afro comb.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like that, so you learn to do your tools, to learn to make a bow on, because it's really quick and it's in my bag. But I wanted to show you how you can make a bow on your Ultimate Pro.
Yeah, I was about to say, because you've got the pegs there, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely. So let me just bring that in. Let me put my pegs in. So we've got this bit here. So you just take what you think you're going to need. So I think that would be plenty. So let's just cut that one down there. So you take your piece. Your pegs can go anywhere. So you can pop them here if you want a smaller bow and you want a tiny bow. But because we've got quite a large ribbon here in width, I'm just going to pop mine to here. And then all you want to do is to literally tie it underneath. And that's all you're going to do. Oh, grab that extra end, wrap that round. It's almost like, a lot of people say that you can do your bows with a fork, but you've got to have someone holding that fork to be able to sort of do it. So, and then that will, and in fact, while they're like this, I'm just going to cut those up. So that will give me my sides. And that one as well. So do it the other way, this way. Got something sticky on my scissors. There we go. And then that will create your little bow. If I hold that up so you can see it.
That's brilliant.
So nice and easy. And there you go, created your bow there.
That ribbon's brilliant as well, isn't it? It's really
beautiful.
lovely.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And then we've just got our sentiment, so let's do a quick sentiment to put on. So I've used the Pixie Wishes and Fairy Dust Kisses.
Aww.
So let's pop that one on. So that's there. And obviously we've got our new stamping platform, so nice and easy to use. I'm saying that like it was right in front of me and it wasn't. There we go. And again, just take in, where's I had some odd pieces of card. They've disappeared, there's one there. So I'm just going to pop that there and literally place that. In fact, I think that will fit perfectly onto there. And this is just where you're going to need your quick drying ink pad in your Nor Black. Oh, this is the one that's running out a little bit. Need to get a new one for in here. Push that down. That's going to give us our beautiful sentiment. I'm just going to stamp that one more time, just to build that black up. And that's the good thing with our new platform, literally precision every single time. That's it. And then we'll just trim that, pop that on our box with our ribbon, and we're done. Perfect timing, in fact.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you're the queen of the craft alongs now, because you always seem to finish them bang on time.
I'm normally quite good with timings. The other day I felt like I was getting a bit off with my timings, but I'm pretty good with timings. So let's pop this into place. I'm just going to use a foam pad to put that on. So let's just take one of these nice big ones onto the back. That will go just on the top there. So we're not even doing any mats and layers. We're keeping this nice and simple. And then we've got our bow there, which I'm going to use our 3D glue gel just to pop that into place. And that's going to go over there. And there we go. I think pretty much identical to this one here. There we go.
They're stunning, Debbie.
There we go. Beautiful boxes, and there you go. So hopefully you've learned how to do your die cuts and your toppers with your shaker card and make boxes at the same time. Have a great weekend anyway, everybody.
Absolutely brilliant. I love that so much. A really, really fantastic project, and hopefully step by step, even if you are fairly new to crafting, you know, a bit of a beginner, very achievable. You know, you can take your time, come back, watch this show whenever you like, and of course, rewind, pause, and hopefully we will see a glut of boxes prices flashing up on the various Facebook groups over the coming days, because that is a really lovely project. And like I say, if you have made this, if you've crafted along live, or if you're thinking of doing it, always feel free to send in your pictures to us as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, because we do love a gallery, and particularly with Friday Night Live, we always do a little gallery each and every week. Just to show you again very quickly before we go, if you want to get the papers, maybe you are somebody who's seen it today and you love it, or you've already bought these and you're thinking, oh, do you know what, I would actually rather have some more before these disappear. We've got less than 300 of these now across the business, and you know with Sara's signature collections, once they are gone, they are gone. So I would recommend that if you have an inkling that you would like some more papers, get them now, so to avoid disappointment. But you're going to get your 12 by 12 pad, which is absolutely gorgeous. You're getting all of those beautiful scenes in there, 24 double-sided sheets. You will also receive your vellum. Once again, 24 sheets in there, 6 designs. You're going to be getting 4 sheets of each, and all matching and corresponding beautifully with the papers that you've got within your 12 by 12 pad. And then you're also going to receive, of course, your stunning card pack, the A4 pearlescent card pack. Pearlescent, don't forget as well this time, not linen card, but it just matches in with the sheen that you're going to be getting off those papers within the collection. 24 sheets here, don't forget, and you're getting 6 sheets of, 6 designs, 4 sheets of each. £30.40 or $40 is the platinum price for that bundle, and all the other goodies from the Fairy Glade are available for you on the Shop the Show. What a fantastic project. Massive thank you to Debbie. Thank you to you guys for watching as well, and we'll see you very soon again here on Crafters TV.